Hey everyone, happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So I started my day off today with running a bunch of errands. I know that's like the most boring thing ever, but it's something that needs to be done pretty often to keep these projects moving. So I'll just talk about a few parts that I picked up. So this is the front beam and steering box for the 67 Beetle, all sandblasted. So usually what we do with these is we leave the beams at least partially assembled like this and then take them and get them sandblasted. And then we pull the arms off and we get those rebuilt and then paint those and then separately paint the beam and then it all goes back together. So that's what we do. So on the beams, do not try and powder coat the beams. And the reason for that is that these things are full of grease and grime and stuff like that. And as you know, when you powder coat something at the end of the process, you basically bake it. And that's what turns the powder into like the, hard plastic coating that we all know and love, known as powder coating. Anyway, putting something like that in the oven that's full of grease, it's not a good idea. It makes a huge mess and it's terrible and it'll come out awful. And the people that are powder coating it, if they don't already know these are full of grease, and they do it, they'll probably be pretty pissed at the mess that it's going to make. Anyway, that's enough of that. But so that's back from sandblasting. Steering box is back, so we will disassemble these the rest of the way and then paint them up and get them on their journey to going on the car. Wheels, freshly powder coated for the gorgeous 63 rag top here, so we'll get those painted, and then I still need to order his tires, 1 inch. I think we're going to Firestone white walls. This box right here is a bunch of stuff powder coated for this guy, the 54 barn door. So a lot of the stuff that we disassembled from under the front of the bus, so like the pedal assemblies, steering box bracket, there's a bunch of parts in there. Among those are the air cleaners for those cool side draft carburetors that we're going to put on this thing. So I'm sure we'll be seeing that again in the not too distant future. And let's see, I think the other parts I put away already, but we also got a bunch of powder coated parts for the 67 Beetle. So again, the parts for that car, we're starting to collect them. As you may remember, we already got the engine right there. The long block is done. All the tin and stuff for that, it's powder coated. This is for the 67, by the way, 67 Beetle, and that's its transmission. So as soon as the paint and body and color sanding is done on that car, then it's going to start going together pretty quick. We've got his seats all upholstered and stuff already, so yeah, it's going to move fast. Anyway, so keeping you guys in a little bit of suspense here, if you saw the thumbnail for today's video, you know that this car has probably about the best personal plate that I've ever seen. Are you guys ready? Here it is. Boom. V-dub Halen. So I don't know how this guy came up with this, but I just love it. And every time I see it or think about it, it just puts a big stupid grin on my face. I mean, how cool is that? This is the Van Halen inspired bug. This guy loves Van Halen and he wanted to work it into his car. And so kind of put our heads together and we came up with some ways to work it in here and there. One of which being, of course, the fan shroud. You guys have seen this, at least the regulars around here. The glove box, and then we're also going to do his wiring cover up underneath here. But yeah, this is all him. That's what he came up with. So I love it. It's perfect. I think we're actually going to probably end up ditching the license plate. I think he and I both agreed it's a bit much. I mean, it's not terrible, but it kind of, I don't know, it kind of distracts from the car a little bit, I think, back here, because it's so clean and everything back here. And then that plate should be a focal point itself. And the license plate frame is a bit distracting. So we kind of went back and forth And I think what I'm recommending, and I think he probably agrees, is just a very kind of thin, high gloss black frame would probably look best. So I think he's going to round one of those up and we'll try it out. And so it'll just kind of like almost melt into the license plate. It'll have a little contrast with the license plate because the license plate has got kind of like a semi-gloss finish, and we're talking about maybe getting a frame that's more high gloss. But yeah, I think that's probably going to look best. But so ignore the license plate frame. But yeah, the personalized plate, this is my favorite personalized plate I've ever seen. I just love it. I'm a fairly simple guy, I guess, but it makes me happy. So there. What else did I do on this car today? Some other little things and one not so little thing. So the other little things, first I went ahead and put his dome light in. Thank you, Wolfsburg West. Your dome lights work great. And see, when you do the door switch, it turns itself off. And when you close the door and switch it all the way up there, it comes on like it's supposed to. Middle position is always off. Usually leave it like that in case a lot of times we have doors open on cars. We don't want to drain the battery, but yeah, so I did that and that came out nice. And the other slightly big-ish thing that I did was I was doing something with this car today, and I was sitting in the driver's seat, and I adjusted the driver's seat, and then I got out and I got back in at some point, and the seat was like forward again. I was like, what the heck? I know I adjusted that. So I got down and I looked, and somehow someone had, if you guys are familiar with these seats on these cars, I don't know if you'll even be able to see this. There's a lever here that you see, and that lever, well, no, I can't do it because the spring is going to pull the thing forward. Anyway, there's a series of teeth on the seat track, and then that lever has 3 little teeth on it, and so when you let the lever go, those teeth kind of swing down and engage the teeth that are coming out this way, horizontal, on the seat track, and that's how you lock the seat in place. So at some point, somebody had, on purpose or otherwise, cut the teeth off the seat frame itself. So that lever, when you rotate it down, it didn't lock onto the seat rail because the little teeth were gone. And so that would explain why the seat was moving around. So pulled the seat out and got some metal and cut out little teeth, took a bunch of measurements to make sure it was going to come out right, and then welded those onto the little lever where they're supposed to go, and ground them to look pretty factory and stuff like that, and then touched up the paint. Well, these frames are powder coated, but again, we have paint that's like a really close match. So touched all that up. And then the lever itself that you pull was also bent, so straighten that out at the same time. So yeah, now the seat works good, and when you adjust it and push down on the little lever and leave it, it'll stay put. So that's good. We don't want him moving forward and backward when he's trying to drive it, especially because this thing's gonna scoot. 140 horsepower in a Beetle is no joke. So that's mainly what happened on this car today. Oh, actually, one other small thing is I think I mentioned yesterday that I was gonna get the earlier style hood or wire cover, and I did, and you can see it there much better. So the other one, which is there, has that huge cutout for that airbox kind of vent thing that's normally there on these late Beetles, and it was just exposing a lot of the wires. So went ahead and got a 67 and earlier one, and boom, it fit right in and looks perfect and super clean looking up here. But anyway, Kent, the guy that I use for hand painting, pinstriping, and so on, he's going to do the same Van Halen treatment on that he did on the on the other pieces of this car. So that's that. Other minor things today, the carburetor for this one, I went ahead and since I had it off and I had the top of it off, I just went ahead and pulled it all the way apart and cleaned all the jets and cleaned out all the passages and stuff, just in case it was already off the car and with the top of it off. So then I did take the donor carburetor top, which again is off a 28 picked-1, and I got from Wolfsburg West a 12-volt choke element for it. So this car now, with a 40 horse, with a 28 PICT, 28 picked carburetor, has a 12-volt choke. So that should be good. Improve drivability and, start up when the engine's cold. So glad we got that solved for him. Should make his driving experience better, especially when the motor is cold. And then I adjusted his valves. They were pretty dead on. Just a little fine tuning here and there. So that's post cam break in. So everything looks good. So this motor now, I need to put oil back in it and connect the air filter back up and put his skid plate back on. And then once we get some wheels and tires, it's going to be test drive time for this baby. Oh, well, I suppose I need seats. I need to harass my upholstery guy and see when he's going to work on or finish our seats. He started them, but I don't know why he's going so slow. He's usually pretty fast. Anyway, so I think that's it for today, guys. I am actually going to take off tomorrow. I don't remember when the last time I took a Saturday off. And frankly, I'm exhausted. I've been going 7 days a week for I don't know how long. And this is with like 12-hour days. I'm tired. So sorry, guys. I know a lot of you are happy when I do a Saturday edition of the day in the life. But yeah, there's not going to be one this Saturday. I'm going to try and relax some. Although in reality, I'm probably going to end up doing yard work all day or something not exactly relaxing. But I'll try and get some relaxation in. So don't worry about me. I'll be fine. But anyway, so with that, I guess I will see you guys on Monday. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. Bye.